live look outside here this morning. We're dealing with lowering cloud heights here in the CLE. This is moisture making its way from the top down. When you have dry air in place, a lot of the snow that's falling from some of these clouds, not necessarily those there, but it evaporates before it hits the ground. And what you see is that saturation. It has to be able to reach the ground, and it has to not run into dry air, and that's what we're seeing happening right now. So let's talk about your forecast today. We've got your weather impact today is going to be for that wintry mix initially when the precip hits, and then it'll change over to cold rain. Not the best of afternoons, really just not. Grab a good book. It's a Tuesday, at least this isn't on a Saturday, so maybe work a little extra at the office. You have my permission today. And then we deal with the weekend storm. Looks to head just south, but we'll talk about that coming up in the forecast, the latest on that. Want to make sure you're in tune to the latest. All right, we had lows last night in the 20s. Okay, so our ground is still frozen in a lot of spots, not deep, but at the surface at least. We're starting to warm up. Numbers starting to pop above freezing. That's good news out ahead of the precip coming in. Here's what we've got on radar. Whole mixed bag here. Mainly cold rain breaking out towards the west. It's this initial hit when it first starts, and it'll be brief for some, others maybe half an hour, where you'll get some snowflakes mixed with some sleet. And then eventually it'll change over to just cold rain. It's that snowflake sleet transition that may make it a little bit slick if anything's untreated. But again, surface temps coming up, so that's helping us. We're all rain right now in Sandusky, Norwalk. We confirmed that on the cameras. We've got some snowflakes perhaps mixing in Oberlin now, Lorraine, as this continues out towards the Bay Village area. This is a live shot courtesy ODOT in Port Clinton, where we saw some snowflakes earlier. It's all wet, but that's what it looks like. It's getting just kind of gross out, right? And then back in Toledo, it's all rain, just wet pavement back in Toledo. Okay, that's what we're going to have the rest of the day. So no big impacts from this, but this is the system coming in. Here's our cold air in place, slug of moisture coming in. St. Louis is just not fair. They're going to be in the 70s today. That's what kind of system this is. We go from 70s to we had 20s this morning. Boy, it's almost winter, you can tell. And then you can see that initial hit of precip's the one we're watching here on radar this morning, and then cold rain the rest of the day. How does 39 and rain sound, Northeast Ohio? We've had better days, let's be honest. We know we put up with a lot here, but man, just kind of gross. All right, National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast. There's your initial hit working from east to west, and then just scattered showers, not consistent throughout the day. Our model's picking up on, in the HER, which is another high-res model we see, that's picking up on a slug of moisture coming in here with a more steady rain late this evening into the early hours tonight. If that happens, I'm sorry about our evening. It just doesn't look good. And then tomorrow, we're just fine. We'll have lingering clouds. Clouds are really stubborn to clear this time of year, but we should get some sunshine tomorrow. Long range of forecasts, that's where our attention turns. We'll dry out Wednesday. Thursday looks good as well. And then here's our weekend system. This system does not phase, so they don't come together like models were saying last week. So this rain comes in, but the system's kind of weak. And notice it holds on the modeling for the second day in a row, I-70 corridor. That would keep us dry Friday, Saturday. Cross your fingers, keep an eye on the forecast. If this shifts a little bit, we may have some rain. Doesn't look to be too big a deal, but I'll keep us dry Friday, Saturday now. And now we're up to travel week. Here's Monday. Maybe a little system zipping by, not a big deal. Tuesday looks to be a great travel day if you're hitting the grandma's house early. And then the models kind of change and what happens with this low and how it evolves. But the Euro this morning brings in rain on Wednesday. That is not good for big travel day. And then Thanksgiving Day itself, it changes from rain to snow by evening with lake effect snow and cold beyond that. Don't put a ton of credit into that. All right, we'll let a couple more models run over the next couple days. It's still in fantasy land in the models, but just know Thanksgiving week, we're going to have some kind of system around here. Stay tuned to that forecast. You need a mortgage 10-day. There's your 40s up near 50 by Friday. Slight chance of rain Friday, Saturday, mainly south. Sunday looks good, and then next week, active weather. Stay tuned.